30 Odd Minutes is sponsored in part by Digital Dowsing. Who are you powered by?
For the next 30 minutes, we will explore the unexplained. From mysteries beyond our galaxy to ghostly phenomena in our own backyard. We will dive into our psychic abilities and explore everything from conspiracies to the just plain weird. Welcome to 30 Odd Minutes. If the truth is out there, we will find it. But only by sheer accident.
Oh, welcome.
All right.
Welcome to 30 Odd Minutes. It's great to have you here tonight. We are chasing spirits. We've set the mothership down right in front of a haunted house. We're looking for ghosts. It's going to be big. And we also have a teleportation experiment coming up. You'll hear more about that in a second. But first, got to jump into our control center. Take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Lake, Matt Moniz.
How's it going, Jeff?
How are you? I'm
Jeff.
good. How's the ship? Everything all right?
5 by 5.
Very well put, Matt.
All right. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Also want to say hello to Sarah in the Communication Center. Sarah, how are you? It's great to have you back.
I know. You're finally letting me sit home in the ship for once instead of sending me off with some random mission. So good to be back.
Very good. Sarah, of course, in our chat room at 30oddminutes.com.
Yep, always. So come visit me. I do want to give a shout out to ACC TV in Nevada. Thank you for picking up the mothership signal. You can take off your foil hat now. We already read your thoughts. Nice try, though.
That's true.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
And we got an excellent email. It says, I was drinking a Smittix and watching the show a couple of weeks ago and decided to draw the Oddball Gang. As you can tell, I'm better with hairy hominids than I am with people. Take care, unknown primate, a.k.a. Mark Stamper. I beg to differ. I think we look really good. Yeah, we
Well
love
done.
it. Love fan art. Keep it coming. Yay. So thank you, Mark. We love it.
Very good. All right, Sarah, it's great to have you back. Boy, if anything ever happened to you, our hearts would break. So we're glad you're here and
Right,
safe.
man.
And
That's
everything's
right.
okay.
I run this ship.
All right, I told you we're doing an experiment tonight. So, of course, we got to check in with our own Dr. Dreck.
Greetings, oddballs. I've been experimenting here in my lab on a new teleportation device, to beam us around different parts of the ship and even down to other planets. It's right over there, huh? Get a gander at that, huh? Does that look cool or what? Well, I'm going to do a little experimenting with it. I just got to find a guinea pig. A guinea pig. But we'll see.
All right, Doctor, we will find the perfect guinea pig to test your teleportation device a little later in the show. We'll check back in with you to see how things are going. Okay, let's get to it. Can 2 seconds change your life forever? What if those 2 seconds gave you a glimpse of spirits, the other side? Would you believe your own eyes? Tonight's guest had his life changed 2 seconds at a time. From his first encounter with a ghost at a young age to his weekly encounters with them on the hit television show Ghost Adventures, our guest has had more than his share of encounters with the unexplained. Here to tell us about his haunted life and his new book, Chasing Spirits, The Building of the Ghost Adventures Crew, please welcome live from a secret and remote location, Nick Groff. How are you, sir?
What's happening, man? How's everything going?
Doing good. Thank you for coming back. Last time we saw you was also in a hotel room. We crashed your hotel room. And
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the knock on the door right now.
Oh, if we could pull that off. Oh, teleportation, if it works, we are going to beam right to your hotel room and knock on your door. So the new book comes out, the new season, Ghost Adventures is going strong. Here's the thing about the book. This is your life story. This isn't just like, cheesy episode guides. This is like right from cradle to right now. Literally, the book finishes with your interview on 30 Odd Minutes. So very exciting how you pulled that off. Let's start as a kid. Take a look. Nick, age 4. Look at this cute little son of a gun with a big cut on his nose. Nick, what kind of kid were you?
I was a very hyperactive kid, as my parents would say. Everybody who knew me, I wouldn't sit still. I was always on the go. Just get into all sorts of riffraff, I just was living life since I was born. Still am, hunting locations, and still searching out the other side, the spiritual world.
All right, so in the book, you talk about one of your earliest experiences coming home from school, Talk us through that, just a little bit of what you encountered when you came back one day and you were the only one in the house.
Yeah, so I got dropped off. I carpooled home. My mom was coming home a little bit later because she had to pick up my sister. And basically what happened is I walk into the house, I go up the stairs from the basement, and I walk through the living room into our kitchen, which had a dining room off to the right where there was a sliding glass door with a porch on the second floor that looked out to the back of our woods. When I turned that corner, I looked and I saw this man, this dark figure just standing right there in the sliding glass door, and it freaked me out so bad I didn't even hesitate. I sprinted, turned around, ran back down the stairs, went out the back door of the basement, into the neighbor's yard like I was running for the Olympics or something, and I just stood there freaking out, waiting for somebody to walk out of the house because I was so scared.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny how these moments, right? They're not big stretches of your life, right? It's just a couple of seconds, a flash here, a flash there, and as a kid too. I mean, you had your own near-death experience, didn't you? I mean, you had a horrible accident. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I did. That was one moment that actually stuck with me. And it was, as a kid, you just want to know if what you saw was real or your imagination playing with you. But I don't know, going to now the incident where my arm got ripped open. Can you all
look at that,
see that there? I don't know if it's coming through good.
Oh, that's gruesome. Nice scar.
Can you see that okay?
Yeah, we do see that.
Yeah, you like that?
That's hot.
Sorry, I had to show it because everywhere. Yeah, that's why I guess some girls were attracted to me because I had battle wounds.
Wait a minute, Nick. Look at this one. Huh?
Oh, jeez, really?
I got that climbing a fence.
Oh, we're gonna get into. There you go. Yeah,
no,
so
go ahead.
You know how it feels. So what happened was I was waiting for my sister again, get out of swimming, and my mom was sitting reading her book. And I decided to drift away. I was running all over the place. We were at an old YMCA in Nashua, New Hampshire or something like that. And I saw this one tree. There was like one tree that I wanted to climb. I don't know why. But I started climbing it. I got to a good couple feet up. And I grabbed a hold of it. And I went to grab it with my right hand. And as I grabbed it, the branch broke. And I just came falling down. And there was a cyclone fence right under that branch with those, those thorns sticking up. And it sliced my arm right open. Right to the bone, and I hit the ground. I didn't know what happened. I just remember hitting the ground. Actually, I don't even remember hitting the ground. I just remember waking up and standing up and looking around and just seeing my mom, a little blurry, and I start walking. I collapse. Second time I wake up, I get up and I see my mom, and just that instinctively, just emotions going through my body. I couldn't feel anything. I just remember saying, "Mom, I love you." And at that moment, as I was falling, I just saw my mom just jump up and sprint towards me. I mean, it was, still I get goosebumps thinking about it, because if my mom wasn't there, she didn't see me or whatever, I probably would have been dead, to be honest, because she really did save my life at the end of the day. A half an inch off, it hit my artery. I was bleeding, dramatically. And her nurse thinking skills, she took off her shirt, wrapped my arm up tight, picked me up. And I was pretty heavy for then. I was a swimmer, and she just picked me up and ran me inside. And I remember waking up and seeing all these faces around me, and then waking up again in the ambulance, and then waking up again in the hospital and seeing my sister crying in front of me, and my arm getting 100 stitches 10 shots later. And that experience as a kid, you're thinking, wow, you're invincible. You skate on thin ice. You live life, and you fall down, you get right back up, and that's how I was always pushed. Even after that incident, they made me get back into the water and keep swimming, which was crazy to me.
So you think, at this young age, you kind of face death in a way that a lot of kids don't ever experience. Do you think that might have opened something up inside of you that made you a little more sensitive to maybe spirit contact?
That's a good question. That has gone through my head a lot, especially when we started writing the book. I didn't think heavily on it when I was a kid because I didn't understand. I just thought I got hurt, and that was that. But now, as I'm an adult now, and I'm more matured in thinking of paranormal, spiritual, that type of stuff, and especially with what I do, week in and week out, going to haunted locations, I definitely think this guided me on my path to what I'm doing now. And I think this incident actually could have opened up my mind a little bit more to, getting closer to the other side.
Right. Now, when you read the book, it becomes evident that you had two loves as a kid. Certainly, horror movies and film comes up a lot. And Veronica, check this out. A picture of you and Veronica, age 16. Oh, man. Look at that. Look at that young, strapping Groff.
Look at that. Look at that suit, huh?
So
that's
like
so
that cool. Your high school sweetheart and horror movies. Talk to us about how that kind of comes together, how you start to pursue your love of film and keeping Veronica in your life at the same time.
I was a movie fanatic since I could remember. I would rent every single horror movie I could possibly rent on the shelves at the video store. I would always ride my little bike down to the video store and just pick up a new horror movie every day I could possibly do. I even would ask my mom after I got out of school, can we go and rent another movie? It got to the point where I would rent these gruesome horror movies where the clerk would look at me and go, does your mom know you're renting this? And I would look around and just pick some random lady and say, yeah, my mom's right over there. And he'd look at me and go, okay, whatever. And, I go home and I'm watching Dr. Giggles. My mom would come in and go, what the heck are you watching? Take that back. So, it was just one of those things. I just loved movies. I loved, that escape, that just, that storytelling, just the passion behind it. Every movie had a story to tell, and that was just always interesting to me. Some were worse than others, but it was always just a fun kind of escape, from reality and whatnot.
Right. So how do you get to the point of pursuing?
I wouldn't meet Veronica until sixth grade.
Sixth grade, right?
To pursuing horror. What's that?
No, I'm sorry. You're just cutting up there for a second. So you met Veronica in sixth grade, and so you guys have been together a long time.
We have, yeah. So I met her in sixth grade. I used to go to a private school, and actually, I was pretty bad, so they couldn't handle me out over there, I guess you could say. So I left that school, and I got shipped over to the public school, and which was awesome because I got to meet all my best friends who I'm still best friends with to this day, and that's where I met love of my life, Veronica. And I just remember being in class with her, and I would always make her laugh. I would sit in front of her and I would just ask stupid questions and be just a smart aleck to the teacher, and she would just always laugh at me. I don't know, maybe it was that I guess she says bad boy image, but hey, you know what? It worked, and we get off, and we've been together ever since. It's an amazing story, the ups and downs we've been through everything together, and it's awesome, man. That I think that's life right there. If you can find somebody who you can connect with and everything that you're doing in your life too at the same time, then that's it. I live by that.
Yeah, right on, man. Okay, so she follows you out to Las Vegas. You go out there for film school, and she follows you out there, and now you got your two loves. You got Veronica with you, but now you're starting to learn to be a filmmaker. And talk to us about how you met Aaron. How did he come into your life?
Yeah, what's funny is Veronica decided to go to UNLV at the last minute. I was actually away touring in Europe on a soccer team. I was picked to be on a soccer team, and I come back, and she's like, hey, I'm going to be going. I submitted to UNLV, and I got accepted. I'm going with you. And I was like, that's awesome, because she wasn't originally going with me. We were going to go.
Oh, cutting out for a second. We hope you'll be back
Stay
in just
together, but we're going our separate. I'm still here.
Yep, all right, you're back. Sorry, just a quick cutout.
Thinks where I am. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Can you still hear me?
Yep, you're back. Nick is in the middle of nowhere, folks. So we're doing our best. We appreciate him checking in with I think we've got just moving the antenna just right, but it's been sounding good right up to now. We just kind of cut out. You still there, Nick?
I am still here. I can hear you. Here, let me move my antenna around.
All right. You're doing all right. All right. So talk to us about meeting Aaron in Las Vegas.
I met Aaron in class. I was doing this guy, a producer, talking, so I decided to go up to him and just talk with him, and Aaron decided to be one of the guys who would come up and talk to too, and we're both working on projects, and the guy looks at Aaron, I guess the story goes, and tells Aaron, hey, if you want to work on projects, go talk to Nick. So we get talking, we start working on projects together, we're making all these films and everything, and he actually helped me make my proposal video, which was really cool. We were so experimental on that, and it was just awesome. That's where our friendship bonded and came together, and the years went by until I called him up one day again and said, "Hey man, you wanna hit the roads with me and my buddy Zach and try to film some haunted mining towns up in Virginia City, Nevada. We're gonna go all the way up there and see what we can get." He didn't necessarily know we were going to film ghosts or our mission was to try to capture ghosts or something.
Right. And it's funny how that documentary, and let's take a look real quick, the Washoe Club in Virginia City, which is where, there you are in front of the Washoe Club. And then the inside here, this is where you capture that first apparition in the documentary. This is the room, the old ballroom upstairs. What's that like when you come home and you review your footage and you see this and you say, oh my gosh, that there's something to this?
Amazing. It's everything you go looking for, I mean, it's one of those things where you go out there. My quest personally was to go out there and see it with my own two eyes, open up my mind a little bit more. It gave me some explanation to my whole path and journey for this quest. And, knowing that we captured this unexplainable figure walking right after me out of this ballroom where we set up that static night vision camera was just amazing. You try to wrap your mind around it. You try to explain it. You try to say, wait a second, was it this? Was it that? You're trying to think heavily on it. And then you're just like, okay, I can't explain it.
Right.
That's kind of what goes through your mind when you first see something like that on video evidence.
Right. All right, Nick, we're going to take a quick break for the news. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the game changers you've experienced while working on Ghost Adventures. Right after the news.
German researchers say they have confirmed that a statue of a Buddhist god was carved from material not of this world. The statue, known as the Iron Man, is believed to depict Vasravana, the god of wealth or war, and was probably made between the 8th and 10th centuries. It was originally found in Tibet at the outbreak of the Second World War by Ernst Schaefer, a zoologist who was sent on an expedition by the Nazis to find the origins of the Aryan race. Interestingly enough, one of the key targets on Schaefer's expedition was the Yeti and its link to Hitler's so-called master race. The iron figure bears a swastika on its chest, which is an ancient symbol for good luck. This obviously caught Ernst Schaefer's eye, since the Nazis took that symbol for their own. Sometime after the war, the Iron Man came into the possession of a private collector who allowed a team from Stuttgart University to take a few small interior samples of the statue in 2009. Their analysis of the material has shown that it is from an Ataxite meteorite, which was most likely found in the Chinga meteorite field along the Siberian-Mongolian border. There's no way the abominable snowman would have had anything to do with the Nazis. He's too nice of a guy. In other news, pop star Kesha recently disclosed in a radio interview that she had sexual relations with a ghost. Kesha claims that the encounters occurred while she was traveling around the world on what she called a crazy spiritual quest. The 25-year-old singer said she doesn't know who the ghost was, she only knows that it was a male spirit. Kesha then went on to say that the experience inspired her to write her soon-to-be-released single, Supernatural. 30-Odd Minutes News would like to look into this haunting further, using night vision video cameras mounted throughout Kesha's bedroom in an attempt to capture any supernatural activity. I'm Andrew Lake, and oddly enough, that's the news.
Thank you, Andrew. Seriously? Sex with ghosts? What's up with that?
Well, I'm hoping so. It would broaden my possibilities. What about you, Matt?
I've slept with a few women that I thought had been dead.
Sarah, what's the history of sex with ghosts? Is this the first account, Kesha? Really?
No. Of course, this goes back, I think, it's worth mentioning succubus and incubus, which succubus is the female demon / supernatural being, the male counterpart being the incubus. Basic idea is these are some kind of creature, demonic ghost thing that would lay down with someone of the opposite sex. The idea is that maybe to conceive some sort of like halfling type child. And obviously, the word of wisdom was, don't do it too many times with these people. Maybe once was okay, but more than that is probably not good for your health and could even lead to your death. Yeah.
So not a new idea. It's been around a long time.
Sounds kind of dirty.
It does. Sounds very dirty. Nick, have you ever had sex with a ghost in all of your exploits and all your episodes of Ghost Adventures?
No, I have not, or I cannot say. And I hope I don't remember if I have. So absolutely not.
All right. So let's jump into it. One of the things that's evident talking to you and reading your book is that you had a game changer at Linda Vista Hospital, and we've got a picture here. Linda Vista, for anyone who saw the episode, this is a big hospital, East Los Angeles, and in the episode, there's a scene where you walk into this room. This is the ER room inside. Talk us through that. I mean, I know you're not an actor, right? I mean, when you see your reaction of what you saw in front of you, unfortunately, the camera didn't capture it. But what went through your mind? What did you see, and what happened to you when you walked into that room?
Well, I mean, it was very late. We've been investigating that hospital for just hours continuously, and I was very tired. So I'm just being redundant with my digital recorder. I'm rolling on my digital recorder, try to capture EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. I look to my left, and you know how your eyes just adjust a little bit in the darkness, just well enough so you can see a little bit in front of you. I don't see anything, and I look back, and Zach is filming me right in this little corridor where the nurses and doctors would fix their tools before they go into the trauma center. In that picture where you saw, where they'd work on the patients. And then in the other room next to me is where Aaron is, and he's filming me from that room, which it would have been the waiting room. And I suddenly look back, and there is a woman, solid figure, staying 2 feet in front of my face. And it scared me to death. It was like that old urban legend where you see a ghost, your hair turns white, and you have a heart attack. That's what I felt like, literally. And I know that we connected for this split second before I freaked out. I know that I saw her and she saw me. I can make out every single detail for that split second. And it was so dramatic. I mean, I remember seeing her brown hair. I remember seeing her white white face glowing a little bit in the dark. I remember the one thing that really stood out with me that blew my mind away is she was wearing this old hospital gown that patients would be put into, and had these little flower patterns all over her. And it just scared me to death. I ran out in the hallway. I'm freaking out. I'm panicking. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, trying to gain my thoughts, trying to calm myself down in that moment. And then finally we would go back in there, and there's no one to be found, and we're throwing our equipment in, and we actually got some good validation on our equipment with a spirit talking and communicating with us. Before this incident happened, yes, I've had unexplainable things happen, but not to this dramatic face-to-face contact. I mean, this is what I've been searching for all my life. This is why I got, started with this. I want to experience this. I want to see a ghost with my own 2 eyes, and that's exactly what happened. It blew my mind away, and it totally opened up my mind to a different ball game, and that was basically the game changer for me.
And it's the kind of thing where, I mean, it sinks in. It sinks in, it doesn't just sink in right there. I mean, you're talking weeks, months, years even. Where you keep coming back to it, and how has that changed you as a person, that one event?
Yeah, I mean, for the next year, I remember actually right after that incident happened, when we got unlocked from the hospital and we went home, I remember before I got on the plane, I really don't tell my dad too much what's going on. He's a very logical thinker. And I remember calling him up, and I'm like, Dad, you'll never believe what happened to me. I swear to God, what happened is I saw, and I reiterated the story that I just told you guys of my experience. And my dad I hear him on the line going, you know what, I believe you. And for that moment right there, I mean, I just knew. I knew what I experienced. After I told him, I told my wife, I told everybody I knew. I would go home. We had a party, actually. I went to my uncle's house, and they're all talking to me. And that was the one thing that they asked when that episode came out and it aired. They're asking me, my uncle looks at me dead in the eye, and he goes, did that really happen? And I go, I swear to you, on my grandmother's grave, who's now passed, his mom, I go, I swear that happened. And he goes, wow. And it made everybody just open their minds up to a whole different ballgame. It was a big conversational dinner table, conversation for years to come.
Yeah, gosh.
And I really bad wanted to go back there for the next, while I wanted to confront this spirit again and try to talk to her or find out who this lady could have been. Did she die there? Right. Was it, what happened to this person? Why Why did she? Why was I able to see her for that split second? You know, all that stuff rattles through my head.
Right.
And then all the other questions: what happens when you die? Is this an energy form? You know, is this really what happens? You know, it's just all these questions go through your head, and
one of the things
it opened up my mind.
And one of the things I like is your book is kind of an attempt to answer those questions and come to grips with it, and it's great stuff. Okay, real quick, I want to check back in with Dr. Dreck, see how he's doing with our teleporter. Doctor, what's going on?
Well, I think we're ready for our first test. I have one half of the teleporter wired up here. The other half is wired up in the comm center where you are. I just need a volunteer.
All right, we're gonna take a quick poll here, and we'll find a volunteer. Name's probably gonna rhyme with Sarah.
Not it. Not it.
Probably. All right. Hey, Nick, we got on Twitter earlier today, too. I want to show you a couple of tweets. The question was, if you could tweet one sentence to Nick Groff, what would it be? And you smart Alex replied. Here's what you said. Eric said, whoops, he said. Don't cross the streams. I get it. Ghostbusters reference. Love it. Ramona said, do you sleep with a nightlight? And Callie said, I swear my crush is harmless, although she put a little winky face, which makes me think it's not harmless at all. You should be concerned, Nick. James said, thank you for your willingness to investigate and bring credibility back to the paranormal. You got a lot like that, but it wasn't funny to put a bunch of them up, so just saying. And then John said, is this a trick question? LOL. I mean, Nick is on Twitter, and I could tweet him my sentence directly. Yes, John, you could, but you didn't, and you got on 30-odd minutes. God bless you. Nick, we are running right up against the end of the show here, but I want to thank you for joining us on our mission. The name of the book, of course, is Chasing Spirits, The Building of the Ghost Adventures Crew, a rare look behind the scenes about what it takes to put this show together and make all this magic happen. Really amazing. Again, thank you for joining us, and best of luck on your next lockdown.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff, and thanks for helping me write it. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. It was great stuff. Okay, folks, we got to get this teleportation experiment going and see what's going on. And so let's check back in with Dr. Dreck. Doctor?
Okay, so I am going to beam Sarah right down here to the lab. Sarah, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's go. Go. Come on.
Okay. Here we go.
Whoa. Oh, I feel kind of weird, man. Well, we kind of dude, you guys have to check this out. It's kind of wow.
Did it work? Dr. Dreck, you got her? She's not here.
I'm so sorry. Something went terribly wrong. Sarah, I lost Sarah. Excuse me. I think I'm going to cry my eye out.
Dr. Dreck, what? We lost Sarah? She's gone?
We should have used Oddbot.
Get this ship out of here. Let's go. Just go.